You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. This week we're in Locust Grove, Georgia at Horsetown. Come on in, look around, and you're gonna be able to meet all my friends here. They're gonna help you take a look at this store and see what makes it so famous here in Locust Grove, Georgia. Ow! You be nice. He didn't have his coffee yet this morning. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
In the mid-1800s, America was pushing west and expanding at a rate unknown to any previous civilization. Americans pursued their dreams and unlimited opportunity. But they needed food, equipment, seeds, and tack to press on beyond the established cities and towns already settled. Out of this demand, a new retailer was born, the General Store, who handled everything a westward family would need to survive. Today, these retailers provide rural Americans the same materials, service, and expertise that made them invaluable over 150 years ago. Join Noble Outfitters as we rediscover the retailing backbone of America. Hear their story in their own words, how they've not only survived, but actually thrived in the modern world. Come along as we go on the road with Noble Outfitters.
You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. We're at Horsetown in Locust Grove, Georgia, at a beautiful store here. And I just want to take a minute to introduce to you the family that operates this store. Walking into this store is not like walking into a typical store. Walking into this store is like walking into someone's home. In fact, when I first walked in and I was greeted, they said, "Welcome to our home." We're in a setting here that almost looks like home, and I'd like to introduce you to the folks that make it feel like home. First of all, I'd like to start with Rosie Meyer. Rosie, nice to meet you.
Same.
Thank you for your hospitality. And I'd like to introduce you to Kevin and Karen Pollard. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And I'd also like to meet Terry Meyer.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, and we've got mom, daughter, son, and son-in-law, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yes, yes.
And you've got a little accent. You don't sound like you're from Georgia.
Not quite, no. I'm
Now-
from Switzerland.
You're from Switzerland.
Yes.
You know, I've been to Switzerland.
Oh,
I love that country. I love the food. And I also understand your husband was a chef.
he was a good chef.
And you know I'm a chef.
Your chef.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes, 25 years cooking in the kitchen.
Oh my.
Started washing dishes, worked my way up to cooking. And I'll tell you, the European style of cooking, you know, and I'm sure your husband, Otto, right?
Yes.
Otto learned, you know, the traditional way
He did.
from the chefs in Switzerland.
He
You
did.
talk about the classic way of cooking.
He did.
Yeah.
He had all the training over there and then came over here and kept on going.
And so he was from Switzerland, came here to the United States. Where did you land? New York?
In Hoboken, New Jersey.
Hoboken, New Jersey.
That's right. That's
And-
right.
and-
That's where the boat came in.
Okay, and he got a job there as a chef.
Yes, in New York City.
Yeah, and then worked his way up, and then you raised a family.
That's right.
You know,
yes.
it's interesting. All the stories are the same. It doesn't matter what country you came from. The only difference was the language you spoke. You know, you spoke Swiss.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't know English. Some people came from Portugal. My family came from Portugal. It doesn't matter where you've come from. The stories are the same. We came to the United States looking for a better life.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
Didn't
yes.
have any money in your pocket.
No, nothing.
Went to work, saved your money, had children, put them through school, educated them so that they could do business and enjoy a great life in the United States.
That's right.
This is an amazing
Yes.
country. Do you agree?
It is. It is.
Yeah, it's
yes.
an amazing country because basically you can do anything you want here with hard work. I always try to tell people, you know, and try to preach a little bit about hard work and dedication and just the old style of how things got done in the old days, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, we worked hard. We worked from morning till night.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I'm sure you instilled that into your children because that's what they did.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they
great.
worked right up with us.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, I'd love to take a little look around the store and learn more about the rich history of yourself and Otto and the kids and just just learn a little bit more about how did this get started? How did we get into the Western wear business in this beautiful store? And where did the mounts come from? There must be every animal known to man as a mount in here somewhere. So this is a really beautiful store. I'd like to get a little walk around and have you guys show me a little bit about the store and just the history of how this store got started, because this is one of the most unique stores I've ever walked into in my life. It's a beautiful store. You should be very proud of it. So thank you for your hospitality here today. Let's take a walk around and look around. Tell me what you got.
Let's go.
All right. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. We're in Locust Grove, Georgia at Horsetown. Stick around and meet some wonderful friends of mine. You're gonna feel like family when you leave this show. Stay tuned. You know, Rosie, as we were talking, you know, it's America, right? I mean, the great American dream. You come over, no money, get to work, save your money, put the kids through school, and give them the ability basically to do whatever they want. So how did this get started? Who was the horse people? Tell me a little bit about how this got started.
Well, my husband got tired of cooking and the pressure, so he wanted to do something else, and he came up with horses, and we went into a stable. And from the stable, he needed a lot of equipment and saddles and feed, whatever it was. And he came up with the store, and we had a little store on the property, and he made a store out of it.
That's good. So, well, that's a wonderful story about how, you know, I mean, it's America, right? It's small business. What are some of those things that you do locally for your customer here?
Well, and I think a large part of it is we make them feel welcome when they come to the stores. You know, we want to say hello to everyone, and we want to call them by their first name. We want to know, hey, when we're sitting buying from Noble Outfitters, hey, so-and-so is really going to like this vest.
We like that.
Make sure I'm going to buy him an extra one because I want to have enough to go around.
Kevin, I'd like it for every single person that walks into the store for you to sell them one of our vests. So I think you got. I like that. I like that part. I like that part.
That's what
do
we
that
want.
every time. I'll bet you have people coming into this store and staying here most of the day.
Hours.
Because it wouldn't be possible to walk through the store and experience everything in just a short period of time, because you'd start looking at some of the mounts. I was looking at something over there, and I was saying that it looks like a big cat, like a cat from home, only it's like a bigger cat. Well, it was a bobcat, right? And I'd spent 5 minutes just looking at this cat because it was kind of, you know, I've never seen a bobcat. You know, out in California, we don't see all these things all the time. So it's fun for us to see the different mounts and all the different products that you have. And I think the most important thing about this store is just the hospitality. I mean, and that's something that we get when we go around the country, is that this store, this type of store, there's a humbleness to it, right? So it started with nothing.
With nothing.
And there's that humble feeling, you know, that humble and hungry feeling. You mind showing me around?
Let's go show you the gift shack.
The gift shack, I love it. Let's go. Let's go. We're here in the gift shack, and you could pretty much not come in here without buying something. You got to buy something to give to somebody, because you know somebody that would want something of what's in here. But tell me a little bit about how did all this come about? You know, how did you decide to have all these little sections of the store, and as unique as it is, what created the types of things that you've got in here? Where'd that come from?
We wanted a one-stop shop. We looked for stuff. As I grew up, I looked for things, or I couldn't find things, or I'd go to other tack shops and say, oh, I think that would be a cool idea. And that's how it started.
Interesting that you've brought things back from around, you know, some of your rides and things. So what are some of the things you guys ended up, you know, with Otto saying, you know, oh gosh, that's really nice, I want to bring that home and use it in the store?
Oh, we'd be riding along and he'd say, hey, I like that piece of wood over there. And no matter how big or small it was, we had to figure out a way to pack it. You know, whether it was at the beginning of the trip or at the end.
It's better at the end.
Hopefully Otto was looking at stuff towards the end of the trip, huh?
He was creative all the time. You know, we're in the gift shack, and a lot of the pines came off the property here before we cleared. The burl pines come from Wyoming. We have aspens cut off, We hauled them in a horse trailer back from Colorado and Wyoming. It's just unique. Horns, sheds that we pick up everywhere.
Well, that's kind of fun. The store is absolutely unbelievable. It's just it's so different. And to think about it, that's why it's different. It's actually a part of a person. It's a part of a group of people. It's a part of a family, of what you thought about, of what you made into what you said. When you have customers walk in here, welcome to our home.
That's right, an ambiance.
It's a definite ambiance, that's for sure. When you think about it, what did you think about when you walk into the store, and how did you lay everything out in the different departments as we go around the store?
Well, in Otto's view, we started out on a scrap piece of paper and drew a square, and he says, we want to make a store. The other stores are 18,000 square feet. This store's 30,000 square feet. We built it from the ground up. So he wanted that feeling when you come in the front door. Okay, it needs to be open. We started out in a little gray house with Horsetown, and when you walk into a house, you have bedrooms, you have a dining room. Well, we have a hat room. We have a gift shack. So each part of that came together on that piece of paper. So we come in and you go to the right and you start into some workwear, or up front of the store you have jewelry and you have all the lighting to where you can see. You go into men's boots from the hat room, or out of the hat room into work boots and men's boots, where we carry on hand anywhere from 7,000 to 12,000 pairs of boots. You come around. Used to, when we left out of the ladies' boots, that was the men's department. Well, guys, we're not the smartest all the time. So laid out in a men's perspective, we think men's, So men's apparel was in the middle. It's really helped out our business. Those folks, they can come in from the ladies' department, they can see ladies' boots, or ladies' boots, they can see the ladies' department.
Well, I think it's really important, because if you think about a store and the layout of the store and how people shop and how they think, what they see, you've got to be thinking about that. And that's what you do think about, because you use the word ambiance, just like Otto would use when he's talking about the ambiance of a restaurant. When you walk in, you don't want to feel like you're sitting in an area where everybody's looking at you or whatever. You want to feel secure. So there's booths and there's tables that are situated in a certain way. And you've done that here at the store beautifully, and created these little pockets of the gift shack and the belt barn, and
Well, we want you to pull them through. We try to get it to where it flows. It makes you want to go to the next section, not that when you come in, customers come in and they're like, I'm looking for a saddle. Okay, well, you have to make it where they see things coming through to get to that saddle section, so they don't miss it.
Experience the store.
Yes.
It's fun for me to walk around the store and see all the beautiful products, and it's also fun for me to see our products spread around the store. We have a philosophy that we make products that exceed the needs of our customers for functional innovation, from a manure fork to anything else that we make, but we deliver it at a value. And I think it's an important thing, and that's what you guys have followed here. And we appreciate you selling our products.
And we appreciate the opportunity as well.
It's been fun being here. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go over to the housewares area and take a soft seat, and I may even take a nap. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. Stay tuned and meet Jace Harrison, Noble Child of Tomorrow. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and this week's Noble Child of Tomorrow is Jace Harrison. Jace, how are you today?
I'm good.
You're a good-looking man. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You ride horses?
Yes, sir.
And tell me about your horses. What's the name of your horse?
I have two, but one is Blaze and another one is Cutter.
Okay. And what do you do with these horses?
I actually do. I ride them in a pasture, and sometimes I rope on them, and sometimes I do barrels.
You're doing barrels. Have you won any events and won any prizes or anything?
I do get ribbons because I'm in the Saddle Club shows.
Yeah. You're how old?
9.
9 years old. And you work, take care of chickens, take care of your horses, muck the stalls, do whatever has to be done. and you're a hardworking young man, and you're 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The average age of a person going to work these days and making some money is 18 years old. Isn't that crazy? 18 years old. And you know what's happening is they're all sitting at home playing video games all the time. So they don't really get out and work and do chores.
And have healthy bones.
And have healthy bones, exactly. You don't get healthy bones by sitting around doing nothing. So are you thinking about being something when you grow up? What are you thinking about?
Finishing up my dad, then going to be in a rodeo, roping, and doing a bull rider.
You want to be a bull rider? Wow, that's kind of crazy. But you think you can do it? Yeah. So what are you going to do later in life when you have to make a living, when you have to make money?
I can finish up my dad's job.
So you like working with your dad? What's your dad do?
He tags calves and he breeds calves.
So you'd like to just move in and do something with your dad and work with him and do part of his business. That'd be great. You know, why is it good to get out and do work and do things to be active and learn how to work and do things at home and help your parents? Why is that a good thing?
Because you can have healthier bones and you can also be good and you can actually build up your muscles.
I like that.
Like I do.
Okay, so you like build. Can you show me your muscle? Is it? Well, all right. So that, holy mackerel. Well, that's a pretty good one. And you're all into this bones and muscles thing, huh? I like it. You're into your health. I have something for you. Do you have a bank account?
Mm-mm.
All right, I want you to start a bank account, and I want you to start saving your money and start thinking about doing some work to earn some money. And I'm going to give you your first deposit into your bank account. So here's a crisp. You know what that is, huh?
$100 bill.
What do you think about that?
Good.
That's pretty good, huh? Now, what are you going to do with it?
Save it up until college.
Until college, okay. Well, you could also spend a little bit of it if you want. You know, maybe buy a toy or something. Well, Jace, if you had to say one thing to the people out there about getting out and going to work, what would you say?
I would say that whenever you're doing your chores, you always build up muscles and you can have healthier bones.
I like that. Healthy bones and build up your muscles. Well, Jace, it's been a pleasure meeting you. I hope to see you again. You stay in touch with me, save your money. We'll be friends for a long time. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, buddy. Good meeting you.
Good meeting you too.
We'll be right back with more You're on the Road with Noble Outfitters. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. Next up on the recipe of the week, Rosie is going to share an ancient, old, beautiful potato salad recipe. Stay tuned. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and for our recipe of the week, Rosie is going to tell me about her famous potato salad. Old-fashioned potato salad.
Old-fashioned.
All the way from Switzerland.
That's correct. From my mother.
Oh, from your mom? I was going to ask you, is it Otto's recipe?
Well, actually,
or is
they
it
all
your
made
mom?
it the same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's an old-style recipe from Switzerland, but your mom would make this same recipe.
Same recipe.
Okay.
Yeah, just
so
about.
Tell me a little bit about what was in this potato
you
salad.
start first, you have to boil the potatoes, and while they're boiling, you make the sauce on the side.
Okay.
You saute some onions and in oil, and then you pour some bouillon in it, and you some mayonnaise. You put the sauce over it, and then you mix it.
And one of the things that was in this recipe
The
was
vinegar.
the vinegar.
The vinegar,
Okay.
yes, I forgot the vinegar.
So it's a strong beef stock.
A beef, yeah.
And you just a little bit
Mix
for
it.
moisture.
Well, quite some.
Yeah.
And you mix all that together with the mayonnaise, and then after you have the potato sliced, you pour it over it, and then you mix it. Actually, you mix it with your washed hands.
Yes.
that it is fluffy. You don't break the potato slices too much.
You know, that's an interesting recipe to add a bouillon because you've got such a strong background flavor then.
Yeah.
Right? That beef bouillon is going to give you a strong background that normally you wouldn't have because this isn't just a big heavy mayonnaise salad.
No.
There's a little bit of mayonnaise, but you have the cider vinegar, the apple cider vinegar, and the mayonnaise, the bouillon, the cooked onions.
That's right.
And then a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's it.
That's it.
But
yes.
I had a taste of this earlier, and Rosie, it's amazing. It's so light and fun, delicious.
Yeah, it's not
potato
so
salad.
mushy.
I could eat a whole bowl.
Yeah.
So Rosie, tell me, where did you meet Otto? You're both from Switzerland, and how did you meet?
He was in a famous restaurant in Zurich and learned how to cook from beginning, peeling potatoes all the way up to become a chef. He went to 2 days a week to school, and the rest he had to work. So he had room and board because he couldn't afford a room.
I feel like I've lived in your footsteps and the footsteps of Otto.
That's right.
Well,
yes.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to look back on those times. You know, a lot of times people say, "Oh, those were the good old days." You know, and you think about why were those the good old days? You were so poor. It was so hard, but it was something about it that just made them the good old days because you worked so hard for what you got, and you saved your money. You did a good thing for your children and your family and for the country, and it just it ends up being the good old days, even though it was the worst times.
Yeah, but you had good times in between.
Absolutely.
Yes, you did.
You know what
yes.
you had? You had love, right?
Yes, you
Absolutely.
did. Yeah, yeah.
You remind me a lot of my mom, Rosie. Yeah, she's a character as well. I go all over the country, and it's so crazy that I call my mom. And Mom, I'm in Georgia. Oh, I remember being in Georgia. Mom, I'm in Salt Lake. Oh, I remember being in Salt Lake. I was in North Dakota. Oh, I remember being in North Dakota. I'm like, they were in the car driving everywhere looking for work.
That's what we did. We had a small Volkswagen. We brought it with us on the boat. And we worked in New York City, in Florida, in New Orleans, in California, upstate.
Wherever there was work.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we say those were the good old days.
That's right.
But they were so tough. They were so hard.
Was tough. I was homesick for the first year. But we could never have done at home what we was able to do here.
Right. Hey, it's a great country, right?
It is.
I mean, America
it still is. If you want to work, you still can make it.
Well, if that's a great thing to say.
Yeah.
If you want to work, if you want to get out and work
but you
hard,
have to work.
You can do anything
and
you
save.
want to. And save
you
your
have
money.
to save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Thank you for taking some time to share this recipe with us, Rosie. You know, every week we give our recipes to our viewers.
Oh, you
Just
do.
go to our website.
Now I gave it away.
Yep, you gave it away. You gave us your recipe. You go online, nobleoutfitters.com/RFDTV. You can find all of the recipes from our shows right there, and you can make Rosie's excellent potato salad just like they did back in Switzerland. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. I want to thank the wonderful folks here from Horsetown in Locust Grove, Georgia. I've had an absolute wonderful time. If you are ever in the area of Locust Grove, Georgia, please make sure to stop by and see these wonderful folks. Feel the hospitality and the warmth of what they call their home, which is their store.
Hi, y'all.
You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. Thank you for joining from Horsetown. Happy trails!
I would say that whenever you're doing your chores, you always build up muscles, and you can have healthier bones. Because you can have healthier bones, and you can also be good, and you can actually build up your muscles.
Jace, you are with the bones and the muscles. Okay, what? Okay, we'll wrap this up here in just a second. Okay. Okay, let's start. He's cracking me up. Okay. Okay.